Like one of the stories that's out there is this right here, that the SEC is trying to get teams from the Big 12 to join the SEC, which was credited to us. We never have ever said that. And if you watch this show on a regular basis, you know that. We've never said that. What we reported last week was pretty clear cut. The SEC and the Big 10 are talking about forming a new entity that will oversee college football at the highest level. And as part of that entity, they will fold in Big 12 and ACC teams into this new entity. Because, and I know it's really easy to vilify Greg Sankey, and everybody likes to hate Greg Sankey, and knock yourself out. Greg Sankey knows he cannot shrink the game of college football and thrive. You can survive if you somehow eliminated the Big 12 and the ACC and their membership from whatever championship you formed. But is that really what Greg Sankey wants? No, that's not what he wants. How many times is Greg Sankey going to have to say, it needs to be a coast-to-coast game? Right. It needs to be a national game. And if we eliminate the West Coast, if we eliminate the Southeast, is that really, is eliminating everybody in Florida outside of the Gators, is that really good for college football?
Hell no.
No. So this idea that Greg Sankey and the SEC are going to poach BYU, like you know how many BYU fans have reached out to me and said, why would BYU join the SEC? I don't know. Nobody's ever asked them to do that. I have no idea. We never have said on this show that the SEC is poaching anybody.
Mm-hmm.
What we told you, and what, again, I had an at-length conversation about this process yesterday. The SEC and the Big 10 are not going to sit here and hope that the Big 12 and the ACC come along for a ride.
Right.
They're going to make it impossible for the Big 12 and the ACC to say no. That's what they're going to do. And they're not going to poach BYU or Texas Tech or whoever. Anybody telling you that simply has no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
They are up in the night. They, in no way, shape, or form know a couple of things. Greg Sankey is not trying to shrink college football. Greg Sankey is not trying to destroy the Big 12. Greg Sankey, I think, really isn't paying attention to the Big 12. He isn't paying attention to the ACC because that's not his problem. That's not his business. And when the four commissioners get on their semi-regular call, because the four commissioners talk on a regular basis, do you really think that they're sitting there talking about how, hey, man, look, Brett, I really want BYU to join the SEC? No, they're not. That's never happened.
Yeah.
They're talking about how can we grow the sport financially? How can we create a situation where it is clean, it is thorough. We are every fan. I can tell you, multiple sources have told me, one of the conversations they have is, how do we protect against college football fans' apathy? Which means, well, that's just the SEC trying to steal everything. That's apathetic. Like you're just,
Yeah.
That's just what it is. That's terrible for college football and the business of college football. They talk on a regular basis how to bring more people to the game and keep the people who are in the game in the game. So they're not trying to shrink college football. It's bad for business.
Which is why you need to play the big-time non-con games, and you need to keep the rivalries alive. And, the Nebraska-Tennessee thing is such a problem, and why, the endless, just, miles-long conversation about how the CFP works and the seeding and the ranking and just that whole thing is something that you hear about almost on a daily basis about, hey, like, how do we make sure this is working right? And like, is best for fans. And like, because again, you need people to watch this for this to work. You have to have big TV audiences. And I guess it's almost fitting we're talking about this today on the heels of the settlement in the ACC with how that's structured, being that it's a 5-year average of, 5-year rolling average on your TV ratings and everything. College football can't afford to take a step back in terms of viewership. What they do, like I said, has to grow the game. It has to raise the stature of college football. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is to simplify how matchmaking is done. Like make people understand, make the dad of 4 who has, the 9 to 5 soul sucking job during the week, but his reprieve is watching college football on the weekends. Make it so that he doesn't have to go and do some bracketology to understand who's going to be playing where on Saturday and what the ramifications of that playoff game are going to be. Like in the NFL, if you watch the NFL, you can say, okay, cool, I know I'm watching a game and this is what's on the line for next week. Like this is who you're going to play if you win this game. Like that. It's just known. In college football, it doesn't work that way because of the process that's in place, which is, hey, like you win this game. Now we got to talk about seeding and ranking and just all of this process with people. So my whole point is that to make this better, you have to simplify and you got to make it easier for people to understand, and you got to make it easier or as easy as possible, because I do feel like it's pretty easy now, but just make it as easy as possible for people to continue to watch the game. And if you do that, you're going to see your TV viewership's going to go up. Your TV viewership's going to be really good. You're going to make money, and the sport's going to grow, and you're not going to have as many problems.
Yeah, I think it is growth in college football is incredibly important. The NCAA tournament, I think, is going to expand, but I think concerns about the NCAA tournament and the game of college basketball are on the back burner. I think that those fears or concerns, fears is way too strong, but the desire to drive more revenue through college basketball is significantly less of a concern than figuring out the long-term stability of the college football postseason. And listen, I think these private capital firms meeting with television networks, I think it is use the adjectives, bombshell, shocker. It is everything that should be happening. And most people will tell you this is bad. I'm telling you, it is the only way forward.
Yeah, and I think it's a clear sign that it's full steam ahead on this. Like
it is the only path forward.
Yeah,
it is, because you don't have, not to be obvious or redundant, you don't have people with this much power meeting to do nothing. And think about how much power comes with billions in this country. And when you look at these capital firms, these private capital firms, they have billions of dollars at their fingertips. You look at the television networks, who are all partners. And again, I know, as Jake said earlier, that's controversial to some people. It's not. The TV partners, and when I say TV partners, Fox, CBS, NBC, and ESPN, Disney are all partners in college football and college sports across the board. They all do business with the same people. That's where the center of power is. And guys like Greg Sankey can't tie their shoes without their TV partners. It is as simple as that. So when you now put powerful men like Greg Sankey, powerful people like TV executives, and maybe the most powerful people, private capital firms, at the same table, they're not there to just exchange pleasantries. They're there to do business. They're there to make their billions, make more billions. That's the only reason people like this get together. I don't see how this doesn't happen. Is it next season? It is not. I think you're looking at probably 3 to 5 seasons from now. You're looking, I think, at the 2030 season is when this makes the most sense. And because I think there's just so much you have to do, and there's so much that has to be done to facilitate this. And I think that doesn't happen in 2 years. I think it takes far more time. than that to get this done. And when we're talking about this volume of money and capital investment, I think it's going to take time. I think I could see it in 3 years, but I think the more likely timeline is 5 years. And I think everybody moves on with their lives at that point. And again, that's why with this ACC settlement, why isn't Florida State filing their letter of exit from the ACC this morning? Because they're not trying to leave the ACC. There is no reason for any of the Power Four to upset the apple cart. There is now stability amongst all of the power conferences.
Yeah.
Really, there's stability in the ACC and the Big 12 now. Now it's time to start putting one foot in front of the other and making more money.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what the next 3 years is about. And those who make money will thrive, and those who don't make enough money will die. And I still maintain the biggest question is, how do we settle this NIL House lawsuit? What does the abolishment of the Department of Education mean for college athletics? And at what level and on what timeline does private capital get involved in college football? Those are now the biggest questions. So let's get into it. Let's get into the comment section. As always, the Monty Show is presented by our friends at The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com. We will be at The Advocates office in Murray on Monday. That is March 10th. That is this coming Monday. We will be there at 12:30. We will be donating blood. Make sure you get to utahblood.org. Sign up. We will give one lucky viewer a $100 Amazon gift card. And listen, if you go donate blood and you don't live in the state of Utah, we'll also give away a $25 Amazon gift card. Show us that you take a picture of yourself donating blood between now and Monday. We'll give away one $25 Amazon gift card. And happy to do it. Happy to do it. And I think that blood is such a big deal that every 3 seconds, somebody in this country needs a blood transfusion. Let that sink in. Every 3 seconds, somebody in the United States needs a blood transfusion. Do your part. I know it seems like a lot. I know some of you are probably scared of blood and needles, but let's do our part. If you are healthy and you are able and you are eligible, please consider donating blood. And if you are in the great state of Utah, if you are on the Wasatch Front, meet us Monday, 12:30. We will be at the Advocates in Murray, and Jake will pass out while donating blood. I will not.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I will not. We should probably eat lunch before we go there. I will not. So make sure you join us. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, where you get clear, risk-free advice. 24/7, 365. You can chat with an injury attorney live online, and it won't cost you a dime at theadvocates.com. Utah Blood. utahblood.org. Let's see. Ooh, look at the comment section today. Are we really? Who was the? Let's go all the way back to the top. Daniel Dixon was first in this morning. Our great friend in Iowa. Good to see you. Yes, you were. Steely, good to see you, Mr. The Ohio State. Who's the best team in the Big Ten next year? There's a lot of people riding the Nebraska train. Do you think Matt Rule and Nebraska are ready to be the best team in the Big Ten? I don't feel that. I don't feel that. I know that Jake is going to probably pass out, not from giving blood, but that I'm really curious how good USC is going to be next year. Oh, God, here we go.
You're a homer is the first part.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, Lincoln's the best coach in college football, Monty.
Ever.
You know.
Ever. Ryan Smith's receding hairline. Super League update. I've secured more Utah taxpayer money to get BYU into the Super League.
We show up.
Why is BYU fan so inherently insecure that they're like, we're getting left out of the Super League? On what planet does that make sense? Well, Monty. No, well, Monty.
No, well, Monty's.
Well, Monty, the goddamn Mormons and their caffeinated beverages.
And, the Soren Mormon from the other night, he said that we weren't getting into the Super League. So what are we doing?
BYU's not getting left out of anything. That's one of the best athletic departments in the country right now. Come on. Maury Alvarez, our great Floridian. Hello. Yes, please hit the like button. It really helps our channel grow. And trust me when I say we need it. We're trying to get to 150,000 subscribers before summer. So are we putting a date on trying to get to 150,000 subscribers, Jake?
Well, I think we're at, what are we at, 141 right now?
I have not an idea. I have not looked today. We are at 141,392.
Yeah, I definitely think by probably the end of April. Maybe.
You think the end of April?
Yeah.
It's March 6th. We're not getting to 150 by the end of April.
We had about 6,000 subs a month right now, or so. 6,000 subs a month right now. So if you guys show out,
okay,
you subscribe to the channel.
That's why you got to hit the like button.
Yeah, you got to hit the like button. You got to subscribe. You want to get to 150. You want us to do something.
Where are we at? We're at about 1,000 views right now, and we have only 37 likes. Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Come on.
Click on that. You see that little Monty Show logo? It's probably right here on your screen, right here. Click on that. It'll let you subscribe to the channel. Old Tatanka, hello. Welcome to the Nightmare. Hello. Eric Wasikowski, Joey Bosa.
We're going to get to that. We got NFL to talk about today, dude. People out here wilding.
Good luck blocking the 49ers next year. Min Kim will help me get Joey Bosa to BYU. Forget my pro sports teams.
Oh, dude. I'm proud of you, bro. That's good material right there for a troll account.
Fabio, why you crying all the time? What is Fabio crying about today? Sure, I'll get banned for breathing today. Well, I don't know what you said yesterday. You said, listen, if YouTube is limiting your comments, it's because you're being an idiot. Now, again, listen. I would just tell you to chillax.
You are what you are.
I put my life savings on a 10-win Utah season.
Well,
why do you obsess over? Are you a Utah fan? Like, I don't understand your obsession with Utah. Like, does it ever amaze anybody in the comments section that we have guys that come in here and they obsess over a certain team?
Stay hard.
Well, and I get that, like, hey, but I think you obsess over Utah and you're not a Utah fan. And I've never understood that about, that's why you don't get your comments read most of the time. Terrible choice. Should have taken the over on if Utah would give me $1 billion or not. There you go.
Right.
True. Mike Smith. No. I'm going to need you hooligans to hold it down. I'm trying to listen to what Monty is saying because it's an exclusive. Exactly right.
That's right.
Monty has a partial man bun. I got to tell you what, do I have a partial? I had one of those mornings, like when you get up, my alarm goes off at 4:10 in the morning.
Dude.
I usually get out of bed. I got in the shower today. I took off my Apple Watch. I took off my Apple Watch at 4:17 this morning.
Yeah.
Put it on the sink. I got out of the shower thinking I had been in there 10 minutes. I got out of the shower at 4:54.
Dude teleported to 4:54.
Do you ever have those weeks, days, hours where the time just flies by?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it is, you get to and it's already Thursday.
Yeah.
You get up early, you grind for 16 hours a day. And it's like, dude, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
I have no idea where the time goes. None whatsoever. Bailey Dietrich. Noah's today for cheat again.
What does that mean? Oh,
Okay.
Notice of allegations.
Yeah, we'll see. YouTube TV. Yeah, YouTube TV is great. Capital firms, a.k.a. taxpayers. Very well could be. John Famlor.
Wow.
Look at you.
John.
Good to see you, fam. Yes, that's my big question. RX, just you comment so, yeah, you need to be a member if I'm going to read your comments. Amazon, Netflix, YouTube what will be their role? I don't know that they'll have a big role in college.
Yeah, I think it's a big question, dude.
Amazon and Netflix specifically. YouTube TV has college already because they broadcast channels.
Yeah.
They're essentially a cable company model. So people like YouTube TV, direct TV stream, they're not going to have a problem with it at all. You're invited, but your friends can't come. Okay. You know. Daniel Dixon, players will also want more money, and how is Title IX affected? I think Title IX is going away. I think we've already seen the destruction of DEI in this country.
Yeah.
I think Title IX is going away. Rick Forster, good morning, Rick. So only the 4 power conferences will be in the Super League. I don't think, and this has been a hotly contested question. If you're a G5, I don't think you can afford the cost to compete at the highest levels of college football.
Yeah.
You're struggling currently to rev share at $20 million, excuse me. And again, go back to when Gloria Navarez, the commissioner of the Mountain West, was on the show. What did she say? Not all my members are going to opt into that. Because how many of them can afford it? Not many. Not many G5 programs. And again, I remind you, Dr. Ed Scott, the athletic director at Memphis, is scheduled to join the show Monday morning. We'll ask him about that. We will ask him about his friends in the AAC. How many of those folks are in for $20.5 million? How many are opting into revenue sharing? That's a huge question. It's a huge question. Where are the main areas that these private capital firms are getting their ROI? Oh, I don't think there's any doubt it is on the ledger of these college football teams. And essentially, you're going to have a new entity formed, which will create the Super League, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to be called the Super League. You're going to have a new entity.
Yeah.
If what we're hearing is correct, you're going to have teams that in football only leave the NCAA and join a new entity. That entity will be a for-profit a business that private capital will have a stake in.
Right.
And that's where they're going to get their money. And that'll be branding money. That'll be TV contracts. That'll be all of it. Merchandising, licensing, all of it. And think about video games. Think about baseball caps. Like the business model will change significantly, but at the end of the day, the revenue streams do not. The revenue streams do not.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that far off. And donuts. Saudis will pull back to finance the $1 trillion line project.
I think that got put on hold though.
What is it?
So basically there was a concept where the Saudis were going to build like this. I think they characterized it as like a mega city where like it was like essentially visually it looked like a wall, but it was like I think it was like a 25-mile project, and it would be like, you know, a city inside of a wall. And it was supposed to be like luxurious, and like it was almost like the renderings that came out at one point, like it was like almost a mirror like thing where it was like very reflective and things like that. And then it got put on hold because I think the cost of doing it was so much that even the Saudis couldn't afford it. Like
it's called Neom.
Yeah, like it literally was so much money that
the line meet the placemakers.
Yeah, and so it's like a 10. I think they were saying, I could be wrong, it was like a 10-story high, like literally a wall that people would live in.
$7 trillion.
Yeah. That it was going to take to build this
$7 trillion.
Yeah.
Neom will showcase at MIPIM 2024. It's not on hold. I'll screenshot this for you guys.
Yeah.
I am unaware of this.
Yeah.
I am unaware of this, and donuts. Look at you. I have not heard much about this. This is what they say Neom is about. The line will tackle the challenges facing humanity and urban life today and will shine a light on alternative ways to live. We cannot ignore the livability and environmental crisis facing our world cities. Uh-oh. Wait, are you saying that global... Anyway. NEOM is at the forefront of delivering new and imaginative solutions to address these issues. That's fascinating. I have not seen this. This building.
Yeah, that one in the top left right there is the one that I had seen. That picture there was the one that I had originally seen. It's reflective. It looks like a wall. Like,
That's fascinating. I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh wow. So you just never leave,
yeah,
quote
so you
unquote,
don't
the
have
line.
so I think the concept is, and again, talking off the top of my head a little bit here because I haven't heard much about it recently, like you were just saying. But I think the concept is, hey, we're going to build something where it's all self-sustaining. So
where
basically,
outside forces don't impact us.
yeah, and so basically, we're inside of this thing, and you don't need a car. Like, you don't need, like, in terms of travel, you don't need a car or anything like that. Like, my only question was, okay, if people are living in this thing, what if you travel a lot? Like, are you, because the renderings make it look like it's out in the middle of a desert.
It
Like,
is out in the middle of nowhere. It is
So-
not in an urban it is not in an urban site. This is fast. See what End Donuts, you come here and you wreck the show.
Yeah.
You wreck the show. I'm trying to get you guys a rendering of this building so you can see it. Here it is right here.
Yeah.
That's what the line. A $10 trillion project
Yeah.
that is self-sustaining and environmentally bulletproof.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, but it's stuff like when we talk about innovation, guys, we're talking about college football innovation. Like, if we got people doing this, there's no reason why college football
Yeah.
can't,
Noel Ramirez, they're also supposedly building a winter ski resort in the middle of the desert. Okay. I personally have no interest whatsoever in living in the Middle East.
No.
It's hot. Isn't it called the Line or something? It is.
Yeah.
Line project will be a dud. Okay. It's not on hold, but they have dialed it back a little. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Day Old Donuts. Day Old Donuts. Good to see you, friend. Good morning, Tim and Jake.
Well,
So
okay, very official names here.
we're gonna be
What happened
formal.
to what happened to Monty and Two Shakes?
We're gonna be a better.
Yeah, better zip it up, dude. Yeah.
Just make sure I'm.
Get the hair right, zip it up, we're good.
Yeah. Anyway, the point about the hair was we did what we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live sports streaming is going to replace linear model. Already has. DirecTV just released a massive live sports package designed to usher in the concept with streaming options. You guys know I used to endorse DirecTV for a decade.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in the way they package their sports. I'm a big believer that that package essentially gives you every single sport, period. Isn't it called My Sport? And it is, in my opinion, the future of streaming. Yeah, it's called My Sports. DirecTV My Sports. MLB, NFL, FS1, NHL, TNT, ESPN, ESPN Plus, Big Network, NBA, and TBS. And you get all of those sports. It's the first plan to exclusively offer the most popular sports channels, including 25 plus sports and broadcast networks. $69 a month, and you can try it for free. Includes an ESPN Plus subscription.
Huge.
I mean, it's revolutionary. It is. That's what the future of streaming in this country needs to be, where we have people thinking outside the box. Now, obviously, ESPN is going to go direct to consumer. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this transitions in the next 5 years, because if that happens this fall, but it'll be interesting. It will be very interesting to see how that plays out. RX says live. Well, I hope you do. I hope you do. Chewy Gonzalez. Hello, Chewy. I'm surprised Saudis haven't created college super leagues like LIV Golf. But they don't control.
Yeah.
They don't have a talent pipeline.
Because again, college athletics are not,
And the LIV Golf thing is a little tepid. Like And a friend of mine is saying, you guys talked about the line. It was their utopic. Oh, that's right. That was their perfect society. Okay, now I remember that. Yes, we talked about the line. I'm an idiot. Yes, that was their model for utopia.
Right.
Their perfect society. That's right. I remember that. LIV Golf is not perfect. I mean, this thing with Fred Couples and Brooks Koepka this week, did you guys hear that? That Brooks Koepka would like to come back to the PGA Tour and has not signed his extension. Obviously, with Donald Trump in office, it is amazing to me he's focused on what's going on in the golf world. But he is trying to facilitate a PGA Tour, the PGA LIV Golf merger, which has to happen. It's going to happen. And I think what's very clear is the guys who are on LIV want to come back to the PGA Tour. I mean, Bryson has essentially said that without saying that.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked in Hong Kong, which is where LIV is this week, in Hong Kong, his thoughts about it. And he said, I really like my existence on the LIV Tour. I've enjoyed LIV Golf. Not at no time did he say, oh no, I'm staying on LIV. I'm committed to LIV. He very much said, because Bryson's also a Texan. He likes North America. I don't think Bryson loves the idea that he's got to travel around the world and does not get to play in all the majors. I follow Bryson on YouTube. In his latest YouTube video, he openly talked about how excited he was to play in the Masters. How many LIV guys are not playing in the Masters?
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Open, the Players.
Oh, and I think that, you know,
look at the Arnold Palmer Invitational this week.
Listen, I have a lot of disdain for the guys that joined LIV. I did not respect that decision at all. Disagreed with it. I think that, you know,
this is disdain a little too much.
Maybe
you have some hate for those guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I do not.
I think that I think it's easy to just forget what they did at that time. Meaning, it wasn't just that you went to another tour. That's not the issue. The issue is that you took all that money to go to a tour that's irrelevant and literally means nothing. And now, after you've been paid, you want to come back. You know, so like I think that, you know, the problem is it's, you know, it's disrespectful to the guys who didn't leave. And I understand a merger's got to happen. I agree that, you know, tournaments are better when Bryson DeChambeau is playing in them. I completely agree with that.
Well, Brooks is one of my favorite golfers, and I never see him play golf anymore.
Yeah, like Brooks is another guy that it's great. You know, the fall off of Dustin Johnson's incredible. Ultimately, though, my main thing here is that, again, maybe it's just this week for me. I'm not just going to forget what those guys did. Like,
no, I don't think you. Listen. I've said repeatedly, I think it's blood money. But when the president of the United States is openly asking for that blood money to invest in sport and culture and business, it's being normalized as we speak. Does that make it right? No, it does not. In my opinion, it does not.
Yeah.
But do I have hate for Bryson DeChambeau? Or look at Bubba Watson? Look at, you know, Dustin. You're exactly right. They're invisible.
Yeah.
They paid a heavy price for that and made a lot of money doing it. But my point is, when I look at where we are with private capital in sports, it's going to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen. There's no question. Newest LIV championship game called the Decapitated Reporter Championship. There's always going to be the Khashoggi.
So I said, yeah.
And I hope we never forget about Jamal Khashoggi. I hope his name lives on forever. I truly do. Look up Troena, the winter ski resort they're trying to build in Saudi Arabia. Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
I'm not. Noel, look at what you wrote. How crazy is that premise of, man, dude, Jake, I got to tell you, I want to go snowboarding. Why don't we go to Saudi Arabia?
Gosh, Man,
No.
the dunes look good this time of year, bro.
No, I'm fine, fam. I'm good. Like I'm that just is so that concept is so mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
But again, when you have money, you can do anything you want.
Yep.
You can do anything you want. And I think LIV Golf is a great example of this. They have hemorrhaged. They have lost so much money on LIV Golf. It is, and everybody keeps saying, oh, well, PGA model's not sustainable, Monty. Well, I'm telling you, Monty's here to tell you, LIV Golf is the one that's not sustainable. Note that they have not signed extensions with any of their big name players because they've lost so much money. They're trying to get this merger done so they don't have to.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. That is the big thing.
Yeah, it just bothers me, dude. I look at golf and I'm just sitting here like, dude, it never needed to be this way.
It didn't.
And it never needed to be a thing where, a whole other league was created, what for the sole purpose of getting a merger done or getting Saudi investment into the tour. Because if they, and we should stop saying if, it's going to happen when they
It
merge,
is going to happen.
when they merge. Ultimately, we're going to look back and say, yeah, was LIV only created so that the Saudis could get involved in the tour? I mean, is that what the strategy was? Because you talk about all the money they've, hemorrhaged and lost, but to them, that's not a lot of money. So for them, that may have been the play.
And it's a very unique. LIV Golf was a very unique opportunity. You couldn't do that in Major League Baseball, college sports. Like, there's just no way to do that. It's quite literally impossible.
But I also think that the tour bears responsibility because they weren't willing to pay guys what they should have been paid.
They were asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, like they were not pushing forward on that.
I think LIV was necessary for the PGA to reevaluate their models in tournaments.
Yeah.
It ended up helping the PGA. I think it did.
I'm down with that. I mean,
I think it did.
I agree that dudes weren't getting paid the money they should have. I mean, I look no further than Tiger Woods. I mean, how much money? Like, Tiger's made ridiculous money, but that's not the point. The point is how much more money could he and probably should he have made? Through his career based on how the tour was behaving. Like,
Yeah. All right. Let's reset it all because we've gotten, obviously, this has turned into a bigger conversation and spun up into something. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app. And I have to tell you, finally, Shaboy won 3 for 3 last night.
Wow,
I have been on a
bro.
run. I have been on a run, and I appreciate you guys are happy for me. You are happy. I have been on a roll of 2 for 3. The other night, I essentially peed in my cornflakes because I went Mikal Bridges under 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He threw up a Hail Mary. It went in, and then they took him out of the game. He finished with 23. Thankfully, Giannis antied your mama, finished under 51.5, and Labrum James dominated the other night.
Yeah.
Last night, I went 3 for 3, and I'm just going to tell you, this is the level of degeneracy that I have stooped in, perhaps stooped is the wrong word, but fallen to when I am playing spring training baseball on Prize Picks. And I would like to thank the offensive explosion that never happened for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Chris Taylor was my huckleberry yesterday. Chris Taylor, half a hit yesterday. I took less. He didn't get a hit yesterday. And then when you dominate in the NBA, such as in like myself,
right?
And you start looking at the Utah Jazz, and you're telling yourself, dude, I am telling you now, with them, the lineup the Jazz are currently playing, you have to go with anybody that's on the other team. And thankfully, I went with Keyshawn George last night.
Keyshawn.
21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 23 points, 7 boards, 2 dimes. Your boy won 3 of 3 last night. And I did that mainly because, and I think it was the game of the night in the NBA, the Cavs and the Heat.
Stay hard.
My guy, Donovan Mitchell. If you are not on the Donovan Mitchell for NBA MVP train, you probably are voting for LeBron. Donovan had a 34.5 point number last night.
Yeah.
26 points, 7 boards, 5 dimes.
Stud.
Pimp's going pimp. It's what we do. You download the Prize Picks app. Open up a new Prize Picks account. Use the promo code Monty. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more instantly.
Yeah.
Singularly the best daily fantasy promo I've ever seen. It doesn't require you to win. It doesn't require you to lose. You just deposit $5 and they'll give you 50 more instantly. And the best part is, friends, the NBA is not hard. You make 3 selections. You flex play that. You win 2 or 3 on a flex play. You get paid. It's that simple. Go to Prize Picks. The NCAA tournament coming up. Cooper flag is a must on Prize Picks.
Got to get in the pooper for Cooper, you know?
Yeah. I don't know about all that. Wait, this is a family show. So I'm just telling you, Prize Picks is where it's at. Hook it up. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty.
What are we doing?
We're doing
What are we doing?
Ferris, why?